Yo, 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 Plato, Socrates, Amanuensis, ho, fronting OG philosophy. How about some original thoughts of your own? P, it ain't all hot air down there in your posse's loved up Symposium. They ain't Encomiums, that's full on brown nosing. Tongue so far up where Helios don't shine, you could taste the hemlock on the upper intestine. Move over, man, gonna get smacked down. I ain't to have me your crown. Your ontology shows you're a clown. Just set that laurel wreath upon my head. Bring Athens relief from constant grief after generation of war dead, because they followed what you said down at your Academy of Agonies. Now they roll up to my Lyceum instead. Word up. Something's bugging little philosopher cousin Aristotle. Whitebeard of sagacity. Or something out of a bottle. Audacity to claim you're the father of logic so chronic renders your audiences catatonic. Your flawed deduction so drastic must be why you resort to the periphrastic. You're the student, I'm the master. My epigrams cut deep, flow faster. My busts are hewn from marble, yours just poured from plaster. If it came to pass, your republic would be a disaster. Statues fall off their plinths amidst quaking laughter. Pie in the sky utopia can't exist, and you know that, you two-bit hypocrite. You were my teacher, but now you're preaching fascistic philosopher kings, egregious aegis of state power that would make even war hero you cower. Didn't you employ the fine arts of rhetoric in order to represent Socratic dialectic? Mainly to beat down the poetic. The arts would be outlawed in your republic as way too hectic, so even your writing would be banned as heretic. It can't be fascistic cause, that's anachronistic cause, as you well know, Mr. Pangloss. In our day, tyrant was the regular epithet, part of what they do down there in Sparta. Plato went toe-to-toe with those martinets, not one iota of being a martyr. When were you ever in armour? Trembling knees at the thought of war in the Peloponnese, your dick shrunk to the size of a chipolata. I relished being a hoplite, but you got no stomach for the fight, least of all this one, right? But the antithesis of moderation in all things is not extremism. It's the ideal form, see reason. The Platonic ideal? Get real. You be tweaking if you believe in things that don't exist. What does that make me? Scotch mist? I credit the datum of my senses. The material world just ain't made for pretences. Life is a puppet show. Man is way more than his shadow. Besides, we all know a small phallus represents proportional balance. The triumph of the intellect over the desires of a beastly aspect. Your flexing is perplexing. Don't get up in my grill, shill. You be tripping with your trills still. Truth is not the real, only the universal ideal. With all your senses, you don't get to feel. Only the educated soul gets to seal that deal. Plato, bro, you be jiving. Slaved in a cave ain't no good. Even Helios don't live in a subterranean hood. That lame click is just a sophist trick. Homey enough with your theoretical baloney. You want to prevent civil strife? Draw lessons from real life. Scale up the state of wedlock with the wife. You get the city-state, where unity is rife. Fuck the polis, you ran off to tutor a prince, pimping to Macedon, so that Athens took a sacking. They death-rowed Socrates for way less than ratting. You got the digits of Hippocrates and some riches, 'cause you know what be happens to snitches. They be getting stitches. You advocates sit as a rule, fool. You don't credit the demos is above being cruel. Word, absurd, follow the herd. You heard the crowd when they're aroused by the fashionable drama on the stage, which means that epic poetry is no longer all the rage. Each spectacle grabs them by the testicles, so catharsis ain't worth a diss, since rationing irrational passions, convinced, nope, it ain't dope, it's whack, Jack. What do you know about catharsis? Full of vinegar and piss, with no wife, never being kissed. You wouldn't have suffered under the Lysistrata, can't mourn what you never missed. Your stigmata, you don't know art from farts. Preaching you can't come to wisdom through the thespian. That's 'cause your technic got no heart. My poetics lays out all the dramatic devices and advises. My mesis, that's the state of how things is. Hubris, the nemesis of he who rises above his station over that of the nation. You get all empirical. Me, I prefer the lyrical. What genius uses scientific method to study the odes of Hesiod? No wonder you never lectured on your specious conjectures, but hid your teachings in wine casks, only to be discovered by drunks seeking to refill their flasks, rooting around in the lees. Is that what you meant by anagoresis? I call catachresis and catharsis, slump back in mindless bliss. The word comes from a root to upchuck, so your whole thesis comes unstuck. You're the only oracle who manages to be ahistorical. Nike, grant me now your laurel of victory. And Apollo, him his lonely sorrow. Oh man, not exactly iambic pentameter. He loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, he loves me not. She loves me, he loves me not. She loves me, he loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. Reckon Plato has earned himself a well-earned chocky bicky. That's the only philosophy I need.